I've seen things you people wouldn't believe.
All right. Welcome back, everyone, to episode 78 of the Best Thing We've Seen podcast. My name is Flo.
And I'm Gabe. How are you?
As you can see, I'm quite confused.
But we always are.
Yeah.
It's not like we do this professionally.
No. We've only done this for 78 weeks.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I'm doing okay. I mean, as you know, I've been struggling with the second jab of the vaccine. But, pushing through it. How you doing?
I'm fine. I mean, is it hitting you that much harder than the first one?
Yes.
How do you feel? Yeah.
Oh, for sure. Well, that was normal, no?
I guess so, yeah. I gotta say, I felt very little the second time compared to a lot of other people, but I guess that was just me being lucky.
It's just you being numb to emotions.
That as well, yeah. All of this laughter is fake.
Yeah. No, I mean, everyone said the second one would be worse, and I was hoping that it wouldn't be, but yeah, no, it was, and it is. But it's worth it, I guess.
Yeah, sure. It gives you an excuse to, I don't know, have a chilled weekend
to let you edit.
Yeah, a chilled weekend of laying in bed with fever.
Yeah,
the dream.
It's not really great, but pushing through this. But yeah, the things I do for this podcast, right? But no, I'm excited because I haven't been to the cinema this many times in a week. I think since before the pandemic.
Yeah, it's been crazy. I mean, so many good things coming out right now because usually the summer months are just full of blockbuster movies, but now due to the corona pandemic having postponed so many good releases, they're all coming out in, I don't know, a window of a couple of weeks, and it's been great. It's been great.
Yeah, I mean we're getting, as you said, a lot of the Academy Award movies now, but also like blockbusters this week. But it's not just those award movies that are trickling down to us now, but a lot of like independent movies and blockbusters too this week. So I'm excited to talk about a variety of things this week.
Yeah, and lately we also got a great release through, I think, Amazon Prime that I haven't gotten to watch because it's still so fucking expensive, which is...
I don't know what you're going to say now. This is going to be interesting.
Judas and the Black Messiah, which I've been looking forward to so much, but it's like $13 to rent still, so one day.
Yeah, no, I did not know that was available. I haven't seen that either. But
apparently since July, but that's bullshit because I think I looked it up sometime in July, maybe late July, it finally came out, I don't know.
Right.
Yeah, but it's like, $13 to rent, 16 or more to buy, and I think I'm gonna wait just like we did with Palm Springs.
Yeah. No, I get it. But we're not struggling for picks this week, so.
Oh, not at all. I'm actually struggling to pick.
Yeah. But so we talked a little bit before we started recording. It's going to be quite a weird episode in the sense of like us talking about certain things and not talking about certain things that we have actually seen. Because we saw a film together in a sneak this week that is not going to come out until like I think August the 19th. So we're going to save that for then and there. But I have seen a new release that you haven't gotten around to yet, but we're not sure if we should talk about it yet. So how many things do you have that you want to talk about this week or that you can talk about this week?
Well, definitely two that I am burning to talk about. And I know you've both seen them now as well. And we'll get to it when we get to it. Apart from that, I try to watch one or two other things like YouTube things, the new Hot Ones episode, for example, which I didn't get around to. And that one movie you just mentioned, which I just didn't find time for because it always played at such odd hours that I didn't manage to visit a cinema this week. But yeah, how about you? I mean, you've seen similar things plus a couple of extras.
Yes, I got lots of things. I mean, if we include the Hot Ones episode, which I was very excited about, Matt Damon, we talked about him before on the podcast. We had a special on him. And even though there's been some controversy recently, I don't know if you read about that.
Oh, really?
I haven't read up on it too much. I don't want to get into it, but
Okay.
it's about him using some gay slur, or that he stopped using it only recently, and there's been some controversy with that. I don't know much more than that.
Okay.
I was just excited to see the interview, and because I've mentioned that movie that he's promoting now, like months and months ago. I'm so looking forward to that film, Stillwater. So that was a great interview, and that was a great moment. I don't know how far into it did you get?
Like the second wing, I think.
Oh, that's the second wing. So specific. Okay,
like,
then I won't
I don't
spoil
know, 4
it.
minutes, 5 minutes.
He's got a great reaction to, I think it was the bomb, and not just him like losing his shit. It's just a very, very funny reaction. I'm not going to spoil it now.
Right.
But other than that, I have 4 things. If we're going to talk about the one thing that you haven't seen yet, I don't know how we're going to do that, to be honest.
Me neither, but I guess we'll just get into it with your honorable mentions, and then we'll see how it goes. Like I said, I'm still not even sure what to pick myself.
Oh, you don't know? Oh, wow.
I'm so glad that you're starting this week.
No, it's you this week.
Fuck, it's me. Jesus Christ. We just talked about this before we started recording, and my mind turned it around the way I wanted it. Christ.
I'm surprised. I was sure I knew your pick.
I thought so as well, and I don't know. It's hard to argue which is better, which I enjoyed more, which is. I just had a whale of a time.
Sorry.
A whale of a time.
Sure. Is that a shark joke?
No, I think that's from Detroit Become Human. That's what like the dude in the amusement park keeps saying all over and over again. Like destroyed android, whatever. Wow. It's a very niche.
It's been
joke.
a while. Yeah, I can't remember. But tell everyone how the show works, and then please, since it's your turn to start, please do that.
Yeah, so welcome back to another regular episode. Here we talk about the best thing that we've seen all week. Anything from a movie to a TV show to maybe even a YouTube video. And we're gonna start off with a couple of honorable mentions and then work our way up to the best thing that we've seen all week. Like you mentioned, I'm gonna start this week with the best thing that I've seen, but how about you start with one of your honorable mentions that I haven't seen?
You're right. That makes more sense. Well, let's talk about Jungle Cruise, which...
Right. I forgot about that one.
I had to see this film because this is just one of those popcorn films that I love every once in a while. And to get to watch this film in IMAX, literally on the biggest screen possible, was just, it was a blast. Even though the film wasn't particularly great. But I'll watch anything that stars Emily Blunt. And if it's got The Rock in it too, I mean, that's a great combination.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of The Rock. I gotta say, I know that's an unpopular opinion, but I just haven't seen a lot of great things with him, except for, of course, Moana, which is one of my favorite Disney movies.
Well, I think you have to sort of like the certain movies that he makes. It's not necessarily like him being bad, right? It's just like you don't really enjoy the movies he makes.
Right. I mean, like, the movie he makes are more about his charisma than about his acting, which I get, but like you said, those are just not the kind of movies that I'm interested in, those very over-the-top action movies. But, I mean...
Yeah, I wouldn't even consider that. This is more like a fun family adventure ride movie, right? It's not really him being heroic, well, he is heroic, but not like, not the Pain and Gain type of Rock or whatever. It's not like the oiled-up muscular Rock that you get to see in this one.
I actually liked him in Pain and Gain.
I know, because of the oiled... we talked about this.
That's the only reason, yeah.
Yeah. And this film is also
really
directed...
got my rocks off. Okay.
Sure. It's directed by a guy who I always thought was French, but not until now I realized he's Spanish. So it's Jaume Collet Serra. I'm going to butcher that pronunciation anyway, yeah. But he directed like all of the Liam Neeson action films that I love, like Unknown and Nonstop and Run All Night and stuff.
Okay.
And The Shallows with Blake Lively.
Oh, yeah.
So he did this one now. Yeah. And he's going to do Black Adam, starring The Rock too.
Okay.
So I really like that guy, and he did a good job with this film. I mean, it's based on the ride, the Jungle Cruise ride, I think at Disney World, and they made a movie about it. And it's just that, people have compared it to like Indiana Jones meets Pirates of the Caribbean, sort of like that. I'm not saying it's as good as those films, but that's sort of what it's going for. And it's charming and it's fun. You know, Jack Whitehall. I don't know if you know him.
No idea.
He's a British comedian. He's an Arsenal supporter. See how? Wow, he's an Arsenal supporter. So I'm not a fan, but no, he's funny.
Okay, no idea.
And it's just they got great chemistry, the three of them. And
Sure.
It's got some pretty decent jump scares. It's in 3D and it actually got me several times. It's scarier than the horror film that we got to see together this week, which wasn't really a horror film
Yeah.
or whatever, right?
Uh,
I was surprised as to how scary it was at times.
but who is the villain in this?
It's
Is there a villain?
well, yes, it's Edgar Ramirez and
Right.
Paul Giamatti,
Oh, okay.
and there was one more. God, shit, because it's got a good cast. This film, it's Paul Giamatti, it's Edgar Ramirez, and then there was one other guy. Who was it? Jesse Plemons, of course. Jesse Plemons,
Okay, right. I actually saw him in a trailer
As a
looking
German
like World
guy.
War One dude. Yeah.
great. He comes into frame and goes like Hallöchen. It's fine. That's funny. Doesn't take much more than that. Are you interested in this film? I don't think you are.
Not really. I saw that it came out on Disney Plus, and I only then that I realized that it came out in cinemas as well. But this is not a movie that I was interested in. I mean, it could be fun, I'm sure, but if I'm gonna see it, I would see it in IMAX, not on Disney Plus, and I was just not willing to pay, I don't know, $13-14 to see this. I think I would have found it fine, but I don't know. I've seen so many of those movies that I just found fine, and I paid so much money for, and then I came out and was like, this was okay, but I could have been doing so many other things, you know?
It's actually the highest rated rock film on Rotten Tomatoes.
Really? Jesus.
I hate Rotten Tomatoes, but
Yeah,
That's a fun fact.
I'm not huge of this yes or no type of rating.
yeah. But the thing about Disney Plus, see, I didn't realize this was a Disney Plus film too, or that it was available through Disney Plus. But it's like if you see it in IMAX, which is expensive for cinemas, even you pay like almost half the price of what you pay for Disney Plus. You pay like $22 on Disney Plus. It is ridiculous how much they want for it.
It is because you can share it, I think, on your account with I don't know how many people, with
I
your
know.
whole family, technically.
I know.
But yeah,
You're right. But still.
I get it, yeah.
Right. So that's Jungle Cruise that's in theaters now. And then, I mean, should I just talk about the film really quickly, the fourth one?
Sure, go for it.
I don't want to steal your thunder. Really. I'll be happy to wait another week.
I'm pretty sure this is not going to make my pick anyway, because I don't know it. I mean, we can just go out and say it. It's an M. Night God, please say the last name for me.
Shyamalan.
M. Night Shyamalan movie, and they're pretty hit or miss for me, and I am not sure if I'm going to love this movie, so I'm just going to let you talk about it.
Well, the movie is old. I teased it last week, so I think we owe it to the people that we talk about it briefly,
Sure.
at least. Because I was fucking really excited for this film. That's mainly because I realized this when I watched Old 2. There's not many filmmakers like M. Night out there who like do wholly original shit all the time. And you can say about it what you want. A lot of people think that those movies are bad, and I don't necessarily disagree with those opinions. I'm not saying that Old was bad, but like his movies in general. But you gotta applaud his him striving to do some original shit, and I love that. And the thing with Old 2, do you know what that movie is about?
I think so. I hope I'm not spoiling anybody. I heard somewhere that this movie is about a couple of people on a beach, and
Yeah.
on that beach they age through their whole life in a day. Is
It's
that correct?
I mean,
kind of.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I thought about stopping you right there because I saw the trailer, so I knew what was going on. But the whole time I watched the film, basically just the first 20 minutes, because the film plays with, I mean, it would be so much better if you don't know what it's about, you know?
Okay.
But I mean, they tell you what it's about. So, but then like the reveal that happens like 20 minutes in, which is somewhat what you just said, it's just like, you're just waiting for them to sort of get to it, as opposed to like wondering what the fuck is going on. You know what I mean? It's so much better if you don't know what's going on.
I'm sure it is, but yeah, it would be hard to make a trailer without showing anything. But
Yeah.
again, that's the reason I don't watch trailers.
No, but you still knew that.
I know. I have no idea where I heard that.
Yeah. I mean, so
sorry.
no, go
I
on.
think I heard it from M. Night himself in an.
He called you?
Yeah, he called me as he always does,
Yeah.
asking for tips on how to make original movies.
Yeah, telling you how to say his last name.
No, but it's this autocomplete interview, and I think he shortly gives like a summary of his new movie that he's
Right.
pitching.
Right. So I enjoyed Old,
Mm-hmm.
but and speaking of M. Night, I mean, he even does like a little intro when you go to the cinema. Before the film starts, he
really?
welcomes you back to the movies, which was quite
That's
nice.
cute.
Yeah. I mean, he's a big movie fan. And by the way, there's a great little trivia question in that film where a character sort of can't think of a certain movie. He goes like the whole time, like, there's a movie that stars this and this actor. I don't want to spoil it right now. But the whole time I was just like, man, what is that film? Literally, like, you know, my movie trivia brain was like working hard, but I couldn't get to it. And then in the end, I Googled it. And it didn't even have like any connection to the film whatsoever, because I thought it was like a reference to a film that has sort of similarities in the story and stuff. You know, why else would he put that movie in there? But no, it's just like literally like just like a question for cinephiles.
Did you know the movie?
No, I didn't. No, I was. Oh, you mean afterwards? Even no, I never heard of that film. No.
Oh, okay. Too bad.
But it stars two great actors. So I guess I should have known about that film. But yeah.
Which is it? I mean, what are the actors? I guess as a little.
Well, the
brain
actors
teaser.
are Marlon Brando and Jack Nicholson. There's a film in which they both star in.
Is
And-
there?
Yeah.
Huh. I don't think.
Because if it was like
I've seen it,
Brando
but
and De Niro, I would have known it, you know?
Sure. Yeah.
And I'm not talking about Godfather 2, because they don't work together. Yeah,
The score.
Yeah, the score.
Oh.
I know you know this, but we recently had a Norton special. So,
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think you know that film either. But
I don't think so. No.
yeah, it's not a big movie as far as I know. But anyway, that's what the movie is about. So as sort of what you talked about, I don't want to give away much more than that, or I don't want to necessarily correct you on the things that are not quite accurate. But it is about a family sort of traveling to a beach, and weird shit happens there. And some things are funny that I'm not sure were supposed to be funny. I don't quite know about that. And other things were quite scary, quite brutal.
Okay.
But in the end, I was hoping for a better Shyamalan twist. Because, spoiler alert, this has a Shyamalan... Not even... Sorry, it doesn't even have... But it has a Shyamalan reveal. And you watch films like... You watch his movies and you anticipate a great reveal or twist at the end. And whatever happened at the end of Old didn't really get me, or wasn't really completely satisfying to me. So I enjoyed the premise. I love the original shit that M. Night puts out. It's like Jordan Peele now with It, and with Get Out and with Us, and it's just like I feel like I don't want to say like Shyamalan does it like Peele, because he did it way before Peele, but it's just like two great directors that don't necessarily do what everyone else is doing these days. So I applaud them both for that. And I think Old, for Shyamalan fans, they will watch it and they will enjoy it, but it's not one of my favorite of his. But it was okay. It was okay.
Yeah, he's got some cool things, but also some very much disliked movies, I feel like. I mean, especially like Avatar.
Yeah.
The Last Airbender, which is, I think, by many people regarded as one of the worst movies ever, or one of the worst adaptations, at least.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, it does seem interesting. I really liked one of the main actors, Gael Garcia. What's his full name? I'm so sorry. It's also embarrassing because I love the people that I talk about, and I never know their fucking names.
Yeah, it's what you said, but with Bernal at the end.
Bernal.
Yeah.
Gael Garcia Bernal?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, he's great. I do love him very much. And
he's great.
I would love to see him in this, because although I like him very much, there's so many things that I haven't seen with him yet, like Chase, Motorcycle Diaries, and what's the other big movie called? By
Amores Perros?
Yes, thank you, by Cuarón.
No, by Iñárritu.
Inarito, damn it. I always fucking mix them up. No, sorry,
That's fair.
Cuarón was Mi Y Tu Mama También, or whatever it's
You're not
called.
making it easy for yourself today. Yeah. No,
Also
you're right.
great-
You're right.
great
Yep.
movie.
Yep.
Yeah,
And it also stars Vicky Krieps, who was in Phantom Thread as the main actress in Phantom Thread.
What's her name?
Vicky
Krieps?
Krieps?
Oh, that's a...
She's from
It's a weird name.
Luxembourg.
Oh, okay, really?
And
Yeah, she was
Alex
good.
Wolff,
I had no idea, dude. You're throwing out so many names.
Thomasin McKenzie from Jojo Rabbit, the girl in the attic.
Okay.
Yeah.
She was cool.
She's great. She's the best movie is Leave No Trace. But no, she's. I mean, we can go on and on. And it's got a great cast. It really has a great cast.
Yeah.
But that's all I'm going to say. Maybe if you see it, then we'll talk about it a little bit. Maybe we'll do a spoiler thing when you see it. But
Right.
Yeah.
So,
so
do you have any other honorable mentions apart from
no.
the ones left?
I'm done. Well, I
Okay.
have. Yeah. No,
Yeah,
I have two
because-
things left.
I need your fucking help.
Well, how can I help you? I know my pick, and it's the easiest. Like, it wasn't difficult for me this week. I'm surprised you're struggling this much this week.
I'm struggling so much. I have no idea what
How
to
could I
pick.
possibly help you?
I
want
don't
me to
know.
pick the other thing?
Because I'm maybe tending to one thing, but if I have no idea if that is yours as well, then we should talk about the other one first, I guess. I don't know. I am so fucking okay, let's just tell people, I guess, what the two things are.
Sure.
Because the one thing that I saw last week, for which we postponed the discussion, was Minari, a movie that I've been looking forward to so much. And it has been amazing. But the other one is the Suicide Squad, the new one, which has been just such a fucking fun ride. So is it quality over entertainment value?
I'm honestly very surprised that it's even that it's this much of I'm surprised you enjoyed the Suicide Squad this much.
I had a hell of a time, dude. I loved it.
The guy who goes like he's tired of the whole superhero thing every week.
I know, but this is
It's
new,
testament
original.
to I agree.
Yeah.
That's why it's my
I
pick.
assume it's your pick, yeah. But the other one I was just so looking forward to. You know what? I'm gonna pick Minari, so you
Sure.
can pick Suicide Squad. We can talk about both. We can put both in the title. Let's
Perfect.
go for it. So
Perfect.
the best thing that I've seen all week is Minari.
That's my pick of the week.
Fuck you. I'm out of here. I mean, it's been one of the big Oscar contenders. It's been talked about a lot, I think, and I've been looking forward to it so much. I think I've talked about it so many times in the last couple of months, and it finally came out. And it stars Steven Yeun, an actor who I really like now, and who is probably best known for The Walking Dead as Glenn, I think.
Sure.
And
I mean, I don't know, but
he's been great in Burning as well, another Korean movie. And yeah, this is a Korean-American movie about a Korean immigrant family moving to, I think, Arkansas. And they're living in a trailer, and the father of this family wants to build a farm, build his own farm, have his own property, own land, and, make money, provide a better opportunity for his family, to the dismay of his wife, who wants to go back to the city. And it's such a beautiful family story of course, the kids struggling, especially since one of them has a medical condition. And so the grandmother comes over to help them out, who is played by a woman whose name I am going to butcher. I'm so sorry. Yoo Jung-yeon. Probably terrible, but
I don't know. I don't know.
I have no idea. But she won an Oscar, quite deservedly so. And also, the actress who plays the wife, the mother in this movie, amazing. The performances were incredible, in my opinion. What do you think?
I mean, by the way, we have a trailer. I just want to, so we don't forget about it. Do you want to play that now, maybe? After you gave a little plot description?
I mean, tell us what you thought of the performances, and then we can go over to the trailer.
See, the wife I didn't like.
Yeah.
But I'm not saying that I didn't like her performance. I just I distinctly remember thinking in the first like 20 minutes, it was like, I don't like her. Like, you know, but
wow.
But the character.
Yeah,
because
sure.
she was like so like against everything that the husband was doing, and so against that little.
Sure, but I guess it can be frustrating, especially if
100%.
she was not part of the decision to move into
100%.
I don't know, buttfuck America out in the middle of nowhere.
But
is that a term when I just make something weird up?
Yeah, you definitely did.
Okay, I'm so sorry.
But I was surprised that the joke? I mean, now it is. I was surprised that the grandma won an Academy Award, because this film is not like a film that I would associate with winning a lot of awards, especially like acting awards. It can maybe like no. Don't get me wrong. I'm saying that this type of film usually doesn't get the awards.
Just intimate movies that rely heavily on acting.
No, but like Korean films. Is this a Korean American production? I would assume it is, right?
I think so. I think production? The director Lee Isaac Chung is also American, as is Steven Yeun.
Yeah. No, I'm just saying. The only thing I'm trying to say is that if it is a foreign film or not, those usually don't get. These types of films don't really get acting nominations, but I'm sure it was deserved. I mean, she's great, the grandma. She is. But I was still surprised that she won.
We saw it last year.
Yeah.
More and more.
No, for sure.
Yeah. Things are admitted into the big categories, apart from, best international movie.
Yeah. But no, the grandma was great, but I it's not the biggest role. I mean, it is a supporting role, of course, and she won for supporting actress, but I don't remember who else was nominated. I don't know if I would have given it to her.
Steven Yeun was definitely nominated.
No, I mean, in her category.
Oh, okay. I have no idea.
I'm looking it up.
It's so hard because, as always, we saw these movies so far apart now because they came out, I don't know when. So, yeah.
Well, it's always like at the end of the year in America, right? When those award movies come out.
Yeah.
So it was Amanda Seyfried for Mank, Olivia Colman for The Father, Maria Bakalova for Borat 2.
Right, yeah.
Glenn Close for Hillbilly Elegy. And,
I think that's quite
Minari.
Deserved.
Yeah, no, you're right.
So after we've hyped this movie so much, here's a trailer
okay.
Yeah?
Why were you so excited about this film? Had you known what the film was about before? Or was it just the fact that it's a Steven Yeun film that has some award buzz?
I knew kind of what the movie was about. I mean, it's not that hard to deduct from the poster, I guess. Okay. And I knew it was supposed to be quite good. Yeah, it's some award buzz. It was Steven Yeun, and I don't know, just what I heard about this movie just sounded so intriguing. And yeah, I do like him, and I don't know, it just sounded like something else in a way.
Yeah.
Which made me interested. And there weren't that many movies that I was like hoping. I mean, there were quite a few movies that I was hoping to see, but I guess that was just one of the top 3 movies that I was looking forward to.
No, that's what I'm just asking why.
Yeah, just sounded interesting to me.
Yeah.
I don't know why. Maybe I was just on a high after Parasite.
Sure. But yeah, let's run a little clip of Minari, right?
Yeah, enjoy.
David, look! They're wheels! Wheels? 여기 대체 어디야?
집이지. 우리 새로 시작한다고 그랬잖아. 이게 그거야.
아빠는 빅 가든 하나 만들 거야.
What a wonderful day to be in the house of the Lord. If you're here with us for the first time, please stand. What a beautiful family. Glad you're here.
How's your daddy like that new farm? He growing things good, doing things right?
Yes.
미국 애들은 할머니랑 같이 방 쓰는 거 싫어한다던데.
But I don't like Grandma.
쟤는 안 그래요. 한국애니까.
Grandma smells like Korea.
야, 뭐라고? Grandma smell?
So yeah, that was Minari. I have no idea what the trailer is actually about. I expect some emotional slow music and some
Korean
language. So I mean, Aline, have a go at it if you're listening to this.
I mean, we might have to pick some English segments of the trailer, right? Because otherwise it wouldn't make any sense.
I don't know how many there are.
They do talk
the kids a bit.
Yeah.
I guess. But yeah, it was just so charming. I mean, there were so many sweet scenes just of the kids drinking Mountain Dew in the morning. The grandmother, who has just freshly come to the US, has of course no idea what all these beverages and other things are, and just the drink is described to her by grandkids as mountain water. It's good for you, so she just has a glass every day, which just sounds awful.
But I think even the small boy thinks that's the case. No,
probably.
Yeah. I love that joke too.
I mean, even the parents are drinking it quite a bit, I think.
Yeah.
And they have one of the weirdest jobs ever, which is to deduce a chicken's sex.
Mm-hmm.
Which apparently is a real job.
Sure.
And it's, I don't know, sounds boring as heck.
Anyone who doesn't know, sex is also just the gender.
I mean, there's a difference between sex and gender.
No, but you know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying. They're not looking at chicken fucking.
What is it? Yeah, I mean, being paid for that would also work, I guess.
Sure.
But
Whatever
yeah,
pays
I
the
mean,
bills.
I mean, yeah, they're hardworking people who just need a break, and it's so hard for them to catch one. And the husband trying his best not to give up for himself and the family to make this work. And yeah,
right.
The kid, one of them is sick as well, which just makes an extra layer of stress being out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah. But by the way, that small boy is just a delight. I mean, it's
so
the
much.
Sweetest boy.
Yeah.
Unreal.
So much so, yeah.
Yeah. But I was just towards the end when everything, no spoiler alert here, but it's just like, how much can go wrong? And especially in like the last 20 minutes when like there's family drama, there's job security, and then on their way home to the farm, even more shit happens, and then even more shit happens, and I was just like, I don't know if I don't like this because it was predictable or that it's just because it's like one thing after another.
Did you find it predictable? I was quite surprised by the end.
I had the very exact thought. I was just like, do I think this is predictable? Did I predict this? Or is it just like, I know it doesn't really make a lot of sense what I'm just saying, but it's, I was trying to make sense of why I didn't enjoy it per se, the last 20 minutes.
Sure, yeah.
And maybe it was that I was just like, I don't know how to say this, man. It doesn't make sense when I say that I predicted it, because that's too far. I didn't predict everything that was going to happen, but I don't know. It just felt like too many things going wrong at the same time.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I gotta say, I just felt very intimate, much more than a couple of other things, especially the other pick that we're going to talk about.
Quite different, yeah, quite different.
It's pretty much on the opposite side of the spectrum,
sure.
From intimate small stories to, I don't know, gung-ho, the world is on fire movies.
Yeah.
And I know that's a part that I enjoyed so much, because so many times when the family interacted with each other, it just seemed so much realer. And I read somewhere that the script kind of came about since the guy who also then directed it, Lee Isaac Chung, kind of, I think, just thought about his childhood memories and kind of, I don't know, put them to paper one day, and then more and more came out.
Yeah.
And then at the end, he had the script. And yeah, I think it just feels real, and so many interactions with the kids and the grandmother. I don't know.
Yeah.
Give you like this nice little insight in a life that you were not a part of, but you feel like you were at least there for the big moments, you know?
Yeah. It reminded me of Shoplifters in a way too. Have you seen that film?
I still know. I got this Blu-ray on my fucking shelf. Still haven't watched it.
Yeah. I think you would enjoy that too if you
I think so as well. Yeah. When I finally get to it.
I was surprised of the role of the grandmother, because the whole time she's not in it for like the first 15, 20 minutes or whatever. I just thought it was going to be like that typical like strict grandmother who's like hates everything that's going on, but no, she's like basically that teenager just wants to watch TV and just, I don't know, it's oblivious to anything and can't cook and can't do anything. That was quite a nice change.
Yeah,
to the
and
stereotypical
makes this
grandma.
little nice moment when the boy comes along. It's like, you're not a real grandma. She's like, why? You don't do grandmother things. What are grandmother things? You know, cook, etc. So, well, I guess I'm not.
Yeah, no, their interactions were great.
Mm-hmm.
They were great. But yeah, I don't know. I'd be lying if I said I love this film. I want you to bask in your love for it because yeah, I feel like a lot more people would side with you on this side of the argument.
Maybe. I mean, yeah, it's not this huge bombastic experience as other movies are, but it just leaves you with this feeling of just having watched something special, and especially the ending I enjoyed very much. I know has a nice way of rounding things up without having a final ending, because it just takes you through maybe a year or two of their life, and that's it, and then you're left to think about the rest, and which makes it a bit more magical in my opinion.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah. So, what's your pick of the week, which I'm honestly so excited to talk about?
I already said it, didn't I?
We know it now.
Yeah, it's the Suicide Squad, the new version from James Gunn. Let's call him a legend, the legend himself, because that dude has made some great films. And yeah, he continued that with the Suicide Squad, and I'm surprised. I think you might even enjoy this more than I did. Because
I don't know.
I saw this with a friend of ours, and he loved it, and I was like, I thought it was good and great, but because the fact that you almost picked it too must mean that you loved it as much. Loved it very much. Sorry.
I mean, it was just so much more than I expected, because I heard it was great. The ratings were amazing, especially if you compare it to the first iteration of this. I don't know, not story, because it's a completely different story, but those characters and the setup. And I didn't like the first one at all. And I think the Suicide Squad is the best fucking DC movie since, the new lineup of movies that have come out, since the Christopher Nolan movies.
Joker?
I would put this above Joker.
Wow. I mean, it's interesting. I never quite know what's in the DCU, what's in the DCEU.
Fair enough. Is Joker part of this?
I don't know. I think Joker is above Suicide Squad, but I don't even want to make. Why have this discussion now? Let's just talk about our love of Suicide Squad.
Sure. Yeah, before we ruin all of this.
Yeah.
No, please. I mean, it is your pick. What is the movie about?
Do you think it's the best movie since the Batman trilogy? The best DC movie since the Batman trilogy?
Oh, definitely. I did like Joker, but I just had the best of times with this.
Insane.
I was just smiling for over 2 hours, and I know it.
I don't know you anymore. Have I said this before?
What this movie does so well is subvert expectations. It's so many times you think what is going to happen, and then the opposite happens. It does it so much so even the movie maybe that at times then becomes predictable, because you just expect the opposite to happen. But
what
then
did you expect to happen though?
I don't want to say it. A couple of fates of a couple of characters. Like, okay,
sure.
this is going too well. Something is it's bound to happen like any second now. And sure enough, 5 seconds later, something happened.
That's what you expect with the Suicide Squad, right? So it's about these.
Not compared to the first one, where it's all like, oh, we're bad, but we're now a family, and suddenly we're good, and then one of us sacrifices himself, and oh my god, we're good people after all. And here's just a couple of fucking deranged people doing fucking stupid shit, killing so many people, innocent people as well, in the stupidest fashion ever. This movie is, I think, the closest thing we've got right now to what if Quentin Tarantino did a superhero movie. And I enjoyed it, because the violence in this is cracked up to, 300% more than what would normally be, acceptable in a superhero movie.
Sure.
Since the first Suicide Squad, I think, was PG-13. And this is one of the most violent movies I have seen in my fucking life.
Really?
Yeah. I mean,
what?
Not from like a disturbing kind. I mean, there are like horror movies that make it way worse. But in the amount of blood and guts and fucking people's face getting blown off, I think this is extremely fucking violent.
I would never have said that.
Yeah.
No. But I think I'm maybe numb to these things by now. I don't know what it is. But it's the Suicide Squad, so it's about this group of villains who are basically, they have to do a job, and if they do it well, then they get I think it's 10 years off their sentence.
Mm-hmm.
And if they don't do what is asked of them, they basically get killed, because they get a little chip inserted in the back of their heads. And Amanda Waller Viola Davis kills them. And that's basically, so in this film they have to like well, I don't even know how much I want to get into the story. It doesn't really matter, right? They have to do something to save the world. Shit is going down and they have to save it. And let's run a little clip of it and then we'll do a deep dive on why this movie is so great. So here's a little clip from The Suicide Squad.
And I'm going to take a sip.
We'll leave this in.
Yes. Enjoy.
Any questions?
Hand.
Yes, that is your hand. Very good.
We're all gonna die.
I hope so.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Here's the deal. We fail the mission, you die.
If we find out any information you give us is false, you die.
If we find out you have personalized license plates, you die.
What? No.
If you cough without covering your mouth.
Hardly. Although that isn't an open invitation for you to cough without covering your mouth.
What's the plan? How the hell am I supposed to know? You're the leader. You're supposed to be decisive. And I've decided that you should eat a big bag of dicks. If this whole beach was completely covered in dicks, and somebody said I'd eat every dick until the beach was clean for liberty, I would say no problemo.
Why would someone put penises all over the beach?
Who knows why madmen do what they do?
Right, so that's The Suicide Squad, with hopefully great music in the background, as in every James Gunn film. I mean,
that is probably gonna get
yeah, you're right. Let's hope there's no music in there. Let's hope there's actually no music in there. But what I loved about the film is that this is complete. You can see that the director and writer James Gunn, he had a vision for a film, and we get to see that vision, and that's it. You know, this dude knew what he wanted to do. He knew what he wanted to show us, and he delivered on every aspect in that. And I even read up on it too, that he had like little to no studio interference. So he got to make the film he wanted to make. And that's just so great and so new and refreshing to get to see something that is not like every other film, like with Old, I mentioned that before. But in the superhero genre, that's definitely The Suicide Squad. And it just, as you said, it plays with your expectations, and it's great. And for me, this was one of my favorite movie-going experiences in a while, just because of the first like 10-15 minutes. I expected something like that to happen, but then again, not in the way that they did it.
Same.
And when it got to that, when it got to the to like John Cena and Idris Elba and who else was in that group, whatever, right? But that kind of group,
Sylvester Stallone.
Sure. I mean, he's got it with the like humanizing like weird figures like Gunn with like roots, and now with what was it? What's his name? Kong?
I have no idea. Yeah,
Shark.
like that.
Oh God, what was his name?
The big shark dude.
Oh, that's embarrassing. Isn't it
yeah.
Kong or something?
Yeah, Khan. Maybe just Khan.
King Shark. Was that
King
it?
Shark?
Wasn't it? Okay, King. Okay, see, my brain. I'm sorry. But when we got to that group, I was just like, my God, this is going to be great. And
I mean,
yeah, go on.
Yeah, sorry. If you're going to mention characters, these were some of the weirdest, wackiest villains. And I even read that James Gunn just wanted to pick out some of the more obscure characters, since it was more akin with the source material.
Yeah.
And I think one of the quotes he said was, I think there's something innate and tragic about a superhero who isn't even that good at being bad.
I read the same quote. Yeah.
And that just hits the nail on the head for me with those characters, which makes it so funny.
Yeah. No, it's great. And I mean, do you want to go through the cast? Because it's ridiculous.
It is ridiculous. I mean, yeah, you mentioned John Cena, Idris Elba. We got Sylvester Stallone. We got, of course, Margot Robbie. Who else is in there?
Well, Margot Robbie and Joel Kinnaman and Jai Courtney, I think, are the only. Oh, and Viola Davis are the only or the only actors that reprise their role from the original Suicide Squad.
I mean, maybe from a couple of people in the headquarters, in the command center.
I'm not sure.
Maybe. Yeah, I'm not sure.
But Michael Rooker is in it. Nathan Fillion.
Right.
I mean, with the weirdest set of skills I have seen.
I didn't recognize him at first. I knew he was in there, but it took me a while to finally get that it was him.
Pete Davidson.
Pete Davidson. I always forget his name. Yeah.
Yeah, and Flula Borg. the German comedian.
Mm-hmm.
And Daniela I don't know how to pronounce her last name, I'm sorry. Melchior? She was great as Ratcatcher too.
Extremely good.
I think she's a star in the
connection
making.
with Idris Elba. Yeah, but I think this is one of her first big movies, as far as I'm aware.
Yeah,
is
and
she
Taika Waititi,
American?
by the way. I think she's Spanish.
Okay, one of the coolest little cameos by Taika Waititi. I completely forgot that he was supposed to be in this.
Yeah.
I don't know if I even knew that.
I don't know why he's in this film. He's got like the smallest role.
I think maybe he's just friends with James Gunn, or he just loves all of those movies and he wants to be in there.
She's Portuguese, by the way.
Portuguese. I mean, it makes sense. Yeah, she talks about growing up in Lisbon, I think.
Does she?
Yeah, with her dad. I think she shortly talks about that.
I forget everything these days. But I gotta tell you a fun little story, because we were going through the cast. There is a... do you remember the blonde actress that's in the headquarters, right? She's one of Viola Davis's assistants or whatever.
Yeah.
The first time she was on screen, I reached over to Max. Reached over? That sounds completely wrong.
No?
I leaned over and I told him, like, I pointed at her and I was like, dude, that's the girl from American Pie 6, The Book of Love. And he was like, yeah, whatever.
What?
Yeah. And
who?
He hasn't seen that film, so he didn't know what I was talking about. But the second the film was over, I looked it up and I was completely right. Jennifer Holland. Have you seen The Book of Love?
I have, yeah. I think I've seen all the American Pie movies.
Yeah, I don't even know how to tell you this. She's the one that's the larger guy has a crush on, and he goes like with her to in the mall when she's changing, and they end up having sex on like some sort of a
on the gondola.
Gondola, yeah. Oh,
yeah,
there you go. My guy, you've seen the film.
The ski vacation.
Yes,
yeah, right.
That's her.
All right. I never would have recognized her.
Dude, I saw instantly.
That's
I don't
so
know
weird.
what this says about me,
Sure.
but Jennifer Holland. Haven't seen her in anything else than Book of Love and now Suicide Squad.
Nice.
But
Okay.
sure. I mean, the smallest of spoilers, but she gets the very, very last sentence of the film in the after credits.
Right. Which I enjoyed. I mean, also
I did not.
The first after credit scene.
I mean, the first after credit scene was okay.
Which I expected the whole time to happen, and then finally they showed it.
Yes.
But yeah, I mean, not just the actors, but also their characters. I mean, John Cena as the Peacemaker, who is,
Great.
your stereotypical action guy. And then you got Idris Elba as the stereotypical action guy. And they even mentioned it. So we chose this team because everybody's got their unique abilities. What? You just said unique abilities. We're the exact same characters, We do the exact same thing.
Yeah. Yeah, but he goes like, yeah, but I do it a little bit better than you, whatever. We have like a little back and forth. Yeah. The very last, the after credit scene, I knew what that was leading up to, because I don't want to get into too much, but that felt a little bit unnecessary. That's what I would say.
Maybe,
the last scene. But she got to utter the last sentence. So Jennifer Holland, my
Good for
hero
her,
of the film. Yeah.
She's come a long way.
She has. But I mean, what I love, and it feels like a comic book movie, just also in the way of him like inserting like little chapters or whatever, or fighting, or when there's a fight at the end, it just like goes like the Suicide Squad versus that and that character, It just feels like he's playing with the tropes and playing with the genre, and it's just so much fun. It's just so much fun, that film.
I mean, definitely. And there are so many cool scenes. I mean, just over the top funny jokes that feel like a comic book thing,
right?
Which make the film feel so over the top. Also, for example, the polka dot villain that is part of the team, which sounds ridiculous. It is ridiculous in the movie, and it just spirals out of control so fast. And with him and his fucking mommy issues by David Dastmalchian.
Sure, that sounds about right.
I don't know. He was also in Prisoners, apparently.
Dude, of course he's in Prisoners and in Dune. And he's in Blade Runner 2049 too. This is the first film I've ever seen him smile in. Suicide Squad. Literally. I was so...
the creepiest smile ever.
No, but he's actually happy in this film once. I don't remember the scene now, but I was just like, that's the first time I've ever seen that dude smile.
I mean, have you seen his IMDb picture?
Yes, I'm looking at it right now.
He seems like a teenager with, I don't know, what's it called? Angst?
Fear? What? Anxiety?
No, isn't it? What did you call it? Like angst in British and American English, you know?
I'm
You
sure.
say it in German.
Sure.
For some fucking reason.
Sure.
Whatever. But yeah, it's a fun fucking ride, and I think maybe Minari is like from a filmmaking standpoint, maybe. I mean, that's hard to say.
I got it. I got it.
Yeah, but this is just so much more than I was expecting, and so many good jokes that actually worked. I think it just took me aback even more since I had so little expectations since I saw the first one. But I heard this one was supposed to be so good that I had to give it a try, and I'm so glad I did. I mean, also Harley Quinn has less of a fuck. There we go again.
There it is.
Less of a role than she did in the original one, and of course now with Birds of Prey, she was the star there. Now she's one of the characters. You know, she's not necessarily the big character, and I think that's perfect because I think it's just brings out her character way better because there's occasional bouts of fucking madness moments from her. And then she's just one of the other people. You know, everybody gets to shine in this, and everybody gets to have funny lines and not just be background characters.
Dude, she is so good.
Yeah.
Margot Robbie is Harley. She's so good. I don't know anything about the character other than the movies that I've seen Harley Quinn in. But Margot Robbie, the casting of Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn, she has so much fun with it, and she's just so good, man. She's so good. But does she really have a bigger part in the original one? I don't remember.
I think so. It's like,
does she?
Especially she
With
and
the Joker.
Will Smith, you know. I mean, yeah, Joker also then comes along, of course.
Yeah. Also, Peter Capaldi is in this. I think one of the main guys that we forgot. Doctor Who. He's the thinker. You know, the guy with the with the weird
Doctor Who. I mean, I've never seen
was
Doctor
Who, wasn't he?
Okay.
I think.
I'm sure.
I haven't
maybe.
seen either, but yeah, I think so.
If you say so. I think also one of my favorite quotes from James Gunn that I read regarding Suicide Squad is, of course, the question is this a sequel? Is this a remake? Is this a reboot, you know, of the failed movie that came out in 2016? And to which he said, well, it's neither a reboot, it's neither a sequel, you know, it is what it is. And I think that's the perfect description for this movie. It's just a perfect standalone thing. You don't have to think about what came first, what comes next.
Yeah,
it's just,
you shouldn't, yeah.
Yeah, it's just fun. And I do ask myself if I would enjoy this movie half as much now that I know all the funny, jokes and twists and things that come out of nowhere, you know. And I'm excited to rewatch it one day, and I'm kind of tempted to go watch it again in cinemas.
Yeah.
But yeah, also, you know, in IMAX. Great for that.
No, I agree. It was one of my favorite movie-going experiences in a while. It really was. It was great. And I mean, I read up on James Gunn. He's obviously going to do the next Guardians movie next. Guardians 3.
Is he back?
Yeah, he is back. He's back for sure.
Okay.
But now
I
I'm like,
thought he was still fired.
No, he got rehired. There was some controversy there, but he's doing the third one now, and I think at least. But I wonder what he's going to do then. Is he going to go back to DC and do another Suicide Squad? Because I read up that he might do that. So just like, you know, he doesn't give a shit about alliances.
He
Marvel,
shouldn't.
DC.
I mean, it's stupid.
I'm just kidding. But I think it's one of the maybe the first director who directed both a DC and a Marvel film. I think maybe.
Yeah, and he's doing a hell of a job.
He's so good, man. He's an unbelievably talented writer-director, especially for that genre.
Yeah, and if you say he's going to do the next Guardian, that's probably then the Marvel movie that I'm most excited for in the near future.
No, for sure. And obviously he has already shot the Peacemaker sequel. That's like a TV, not sequel, the Peacemaker series.
Spin-off? Oh, really?
Yeah, that's already been shot, starring John Cena, and that's going to come out whenever.
On HBO Max, probably. Oh, sorry. Does Warner Brothers have their own
No, it's HBO Max.
streaming platform now?
You're right,
okay.
It's HBO Max, yeah.
With such a terrible fucking logo Warner Bros. Now has. I hate it. The new fucking logo Warner Bros. Has.
They have a new logo?
You know, the blue background,
blue,
WB with...
Well,
looks terrible.
Not too bad.
What about the old one? Beautiful. Beautiful. I hate it so much.
Okay.
It looks so wrong. I don't know why.
I mean, I agree. The one before that was nicer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're drifting off.
Yeah, I think we kind of are.
But yeah, a lot of good things this week.
Great week.
Yeah.
Great week.
The more we talk about it, the more I want to rewatch Suicide Squad.
Yeah, dude, I'm surprised. But I can't fault you for it, man. It's a great fucking film. And it is one of those films that you want to experience in theaters. So you can watch all of the films that we talked about this week in theaters now. But I think Suicide Squad gets both of our votes for like the one that you really should go out and watch in cinemas, right?
Right. And Minari, if you're more of an artsy fellow or lady, I guess.
Sure.
Go watch that.
Yeah.
But Suicide Squad is the easier option if you have a stomach for violence. I mean, there are a lot of people who don't like those kinds of movies.
Yep.
Because it takes it to an extreme. But yeah, if you like I said, like Quentin Tarantino-ish violent, go for it.
It's an interesting comparison, but yeah, I mean, sure.
I couldn't think of anybody else who does like fun, stupid violence on the spot.
Yeah. I don't think of this film as this violent as
oh, come on.
Violent as no, it is violent, but it's not like noteworthy in terms of its violence. I don't think
people like getting blown to bits like every 2 minutes.
Sure, there was this scene at the beginning when they infiltrate a camp.
The camp, it's so good, yeah.
But I mean, I'm sorry. How deaf are these people that are sitting in the shack at the end, and they were like, "Hello," and they were like, "What happened to my family or whatever, to my friends?"
There were so many, yeah.
You must have heard something.
So many people in that camp who like stood 2 meters from the guy being like butchered and screaming, and then like turning around. Oh, I didn't see you there.
Don't get me wrong. The scene was great. But
it was great. I think it works in like, I don't know, if you accept that logic.
Yes.
Just, it's the rule of cool. It works. So, don't think about it too much. And I think I'm a person who usually is like, dude, this makes no sense. I fucking hate it. But with this movie kind of opens up with, we have no logic. Rules are out of the window. Whatever happens, happens, And I was fine with it.
You're right. Alrighty.
Yeah.
That's it.
Anything
Great
else?
Couple of things. No, that's it. That's it for sure. I mean, please go and seek out these films, and yeah, it's a good time. Enjoy the movies in theaters while we still can. While they're still open.
Yeah,
a lot of great things to watch these days.
Yeah, 2 months to go for Dune. We can do this, people. We can do this.
Yeah, I think it's 1 month.
Stay safe.
5 weeks.
Is it?
Yep.
Isn't it coming out in early October?
No, that's America, and it's got early September.
Right, because we get the month earlier for some fucking reason. I love it. Okay, 5 more weeks, people. We can do this. Pull yourself together.
Yeah. Right, that's it from me. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I hope you have a good time at the movies, and we'll be back next week with another regular episode. And until then, have a good week, cook something good, and I'll leave the last word up to you.
Yeah, thank you so much for sticking around till the end. As always, you can check us out on any podcast platforms, be it Spotify, Google Podcast, Apple Podcast, etc. Consider checking us out at Best Thing Radio on Twitter and Instagram. There you can check out the thumbnail that Flo makes for us every beautiful week. You can also see it as our thumbnail on YouTube. Maybe drop a like, subscribe, whatever you want. We will be very grateful, and have a great week. And enjoy, stay safe, go to the cinema. There's so many good things to see. Bye-bye.
Bye.